Avast, ye scallywags!
Hey guys, for my first personal take on a meal, I've decided to go with spaghetti bolognese. It's one of my personal favorites to prepare, and it's pretty hard to screw up. I've been making it the same way for around 20 years with the odd tweak here and there. Here we have all our ingredients. So I've got 800 grams of mince or ground beef, 2 medium diced onions. I prefer using whole plum or pomodoro tomato. I just find the already chopped ones a little too watery. 500 grams of spaghetti, salt, coarse ground pepper, cayenne pepper, paprika, mixed Italian herbs, bay leaf, fresh crushed garlic, fresh diced ginger, and dried chilies. I prefer cooking with dried chilies as opposed to fresh. These are my last season's hybrids, homegrown, so it's a mix of Trinidad Scorpion and Thai Bird's Eye. And last but not least, beer. If I'm able to cook it with beer, believe me I will. So now we're going to get the pan up to heat and add some olive oil. I only use olive oil or coconut oil, only ever have. Put a dash of that in there. Then we're going to add the onions just to caramelize. Okay, so we just want to get the onions on medium to low heat just to cook them through a bit before we start adding the mince. Onions look just about right now to add the mince. So we're going to add the mince. And then just break it up as you go. And crank the heat down a tad. Now we just let that sit for a bit and let the mince cook through a tad, and we start adding all the rest. Okay, so I like adding some of my spices while the mince is still cooking. I just feel it kind of pulls a bit more into the meat. So I'm going to start with a bit of the salt. Coarse pepper, but I'm not going to use all of it, just a tad. The rest I'll add later. Same goes for the cayenne pepper and the paprika. I'm just going to mix that in, and then the rest I'll add later once I've added all the tomato and all that. Okay, so the mince is looking pretty good right now. I think we pretty much on cue to add the rest. I'm going to start with the broken tomato tin. Okay, so I had a little fight with the stubborn tin tomato, got a little heavy handed, and he gave me the bird and exploded all over me. So if I look wet or I missed a spot, that's what happened. So I think we're good to go with the tomatoes. Also just takes a tad work trying to break them up into the mince. And of course any leftover, here's the way. And I think we're good to add all the rest of the ingredients now. I'm going to go with the fresh ginger. Fresh garlic. Now we can go with the bay leaves. And get in the rest of my spices. Cayenne pepper. Love cayenne pepper, it just gives it a nice little sting, which I really enjoy. Besides the chili. Rest of the coarse ground black, mixed Italian herbs, and if it's looking a little bit thin, there's beer. That's why I use a lot of beer. Give it a tad more liquid. Just means I have to crack another, which is a winner. Reload. Then I'm going to add my chilies. Another thing I absolutely hate are these ready-made sauces. I mean, just a waste. So full of preservatives and colorants and all that crap. Just take the extra time and do it from scratch. It's just so much better. Yeah, the liquid levels look good for now, so now it's just a matter of waiting. A lot of people think it's a nice, quick, easy meal. I prefer not to think so, so I like to put the lid on and let it sit for a good 40 to 45 minutes before I even start my pasta. A lot of people like to use the extra lean mince. I've never been a big fan. I prefer the normal mince. It's just got a tad more fat in. A lot of people don't like that. I just love the flavors of the normal fatty mince, so yeah, each to his own. Okay, so it's looking exactly like I wanted to. Smelling great. Now all let's do is put the lid on, let it sit for around 40-45 minutes on a low to medium heat. Crack a Frosty and wait till it's time to do the pasta. Okay, so we're good to go with the pasta. It's been about 40 minutes odd on the bolognese itself. So I'm going to add a tad of salt to the water. Get it cranked up again. Add a dash of olive oil. A lot of people like dropping in the whole bag as is. I don't like that, so I do the snapper. Yeah, now we're going to get that on the boil for a good 10 to 12 minutes. Don't like it too soft, don't like it too hard either. It's got to be right, al dente if you will. Okay, so I think we're good to dish. Pasta's done, bolognese is done. I've already rinsed the pasta. It's good to dish. Why so much, you ask? Well, being Portuguese, battled to cook for one person, so I offered to cook for my neighbour and his missus, and I'll be collecting in a bit. I also just drizzled the pasta while in the strainer in a bit of olive oil. Oh, this smells absolutely divine. I hope they like it hot because it's going to have a tad sting, without a doubt. And that's it. Top it off with some cheddar. Never go wrong with cheese. Cheese and anything. Well, there you go, guys. That's my take on a spaghetti bolognese. Hope you give it a bash. It's a win-win. And just one more thing, guys. Don't be afraid to use enough spice. Make it spicy. Don't be bland like my love life.